Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share the tools that you desire to live the life that you want, to have the experiences that you want, to have the memories that you deserve. So here's my favorite part. I love reading comments. So I sit up at night and I read your comments. I read them, I laugh, I reply to some. I feel warm inside. And here's one that really made me feel warm inside. It came from Margaret. And Margaret, you talked about micro wins. Yes, 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 yes. That they've been very, very key in your life. That your mindset is so different from recognizing both in your personal life and in your business life that micro wins are best. That literally now you see things are actually moving. Yes. So many times we set a big goal and all we're looking at is the macro win, the big goal, and we don't see enough progress. Well, when you break down a macro goal into micro wins, you celebrate yourself more often, you celebrate yourself more frequently, and then you create fuel to keep going to get to the macro win. And then my namesake, Lisa. I love your comment, Lisa. You talked about harmony over balance. Woo! That right there came from my friend Ivan Meisner. It was something that I was blessed enough to learn from a very wise friend of mine. Harmony over balance. Balance is a myth. Harmony is a must. Woo! And that you said, Lisa, that I will rethink the way that I give my time to each thing in my life starting today. When you begin to look at harmony, harmony is not having the same amount of time. You know, we think I should have as much time with my family as I have in my business. Well, in my world, impossible. However, if you laser on the time you have and you make that time matter more, Lisa, that's what you're talking about. You make those 20 minutes matter more. You put down that cell phone. You watch that movie and stay present. You spend the time in the car talking and sharing. When you make that time matter more, then all of a sudden harmony becomes the must in your life and the thing that makes life feel delicious. You know, so many times we have a tendency to feel like we don't deserve something better than what we have. And the reality is, everything that you've come through, everything that you've risen above, everything that you've climbed over, that gives you the right to the life that you're looking at. I just don't believe that we would have a vision in our heart and in our mind that we don't deserve. So oftentimes when you begin to question your worthiness, that's when you're keeping score. You're saying, because I did this, because this happened, because I didn't do this, because I went through this relationship, because I didn't follow up with this, I don't deserve that. When in fact your past does not and have never, ever equaled your future. Like if you walk away with nothing else, I want you to say these words: my past does not equal my future. My past is a setup. So I believe that it's not in spite of my past that I get to be successful. And I truly believe this for me personally. It's not in spite of my past that I get to be successful, that I get to have the life that I have. It's because of my past. Like, who cares if everything was always wonderful, that you have a wonderful future? I just think it's a delicious experience when things were in a little bit of chaos, or you had to go through something. You had to really decide who you were going to be. And then stand up and be that person. Stand up and be that man. Stand up and be that woman. Live that life. Bring to you something you didn't even see, you didn't even know, you couldn't even imagine. Who better for that experience than you? Who would be a better steward of having grace and compassion and abundance than you? Yes, you've made some mistakes. Yes, you've made some poor decisions. Yes, you stayed stuck longer than you should have stayed stuck. Yes, you said yes when you should have said no. You said no when you should have said yes. But also, you've made some brilliant decisions. You got to make sure that you're keeping track, not score. Also, you've been able to forgive at times what was the seemingly unforgivable. What's also true is you've been willing to love what at times could have been perceived the unlovable. You've served and you've given and you've sacrificed and you've shown up for others. You've turned your crawl into a walk. And now you want to turn your walk into a run, or you want to turn your run into a soar. Of course you. And so what do? You surround yourself with a tribe like this. You don't just look at the education. You don't look at transformation. You jump in it. You understand, as Joan Baez says, that action, say action, action is the antidote for despair. So many times people are looking at and studying possibility and studying transformation. But when you're in action, transformation has to occur. It's not a sideline. You can't sit on the sidelines of this conversation. This, you got to get on the field. So if you want to know how do you give yourself a second chance and then ultimately give yourself 1,000 second chances, get in action. Get in action and allow the man, the woman that you are today to dissipate the worry or the wonder who you can become. Surround yourself. I'm giving you points now. Make sure you write these down. Surround yourself with a tribe and a community full of movers, people who will hold you accountable to the man or the woman that you choose to become, not to who you've been. That's number 2. And number 3, get a group of people who will hold you accountable. If you don't know where they are absolutely on my campus. They're absolutely in my tribe. You sign up for anything, and I don't need to sell you. By the grace of God, we have programs moving all around the world while I sleep. But what I do know is that if you jump into a program, whether it be mine or someone else's, make sure you have an accountability community in there. Someone who's going to say, hold on, this is who you said you wanted to be. Make sure that what you're doing is in alignment with what you believe and what you desire. So accountability is number 3. And then number 4, you have to have unwavering, say unwavering faith. You got to know like I know, like I know, like I know. So that when it's dark, you can still see your own light. And when you're lonely, you still feel the presence of other people when you're alone. Like inside of that, you got to become non-negotiable. See, right now you've been optional. I sort of want to do it. I really want to do it. I don't know if I can do it. Move from optional to non-negotiable. Now listen, I gave you 5 things that you can do. But the number 1 thing is to be in action and stay connected. Because listen, you got here alone maybe, or you didn't get here alone. But what I know is your next best season, you have to do it with a tribe. You have to do it with a community. And I don't know what better place than here with us. Now remember, this show is a lot of things. A little wild, a little deep, a little intense, a little crazy, but it's not a monologue. This show is a dialogue. And this is where you and I are in conversation. I always love to hear from you. We read your comments. Your comments matter to me and to my team. So I want to hear your comments below. I want to read them. I want to connect with you via your comments. So leave them for me. Leave them for us. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? What did you get? What's that nugget that you said, oh, that's why I tuned in. That's why I gave this experience the 10 minutes that I gave it, because I needed to hear that. Or what made you say, ooh, yes, that feels so good. Or even, ouch. Ouch, Lisa. God, lighten up a little bit. What was that thing? What was that thing that made you say, wait a minute, I need to stay in the game. I need to get in the game. I need to go in deeper. And what did it inspire you to do? Think about that a little bit, but I do want you to comment. I want you to comment below. Make sure that you subscribe and look out for more amazing, what I pray to you is amazing, meaningful, useful content, because that's what I bring it to you for. And listen, I want to make sure that I'm answering and I'm talking about the things that are valuable to you. So I want you to ask me 2 questions. 2 questions, whether it's around your finances, how to grow them, how to expand them, how to manage them, how to create multiple revenue streams, whether it's around relationships, how to get in them, how to get out of them, how to make them feel better, how to lovingly tell someone that this relationship isn't working the way it is, how to forgive. I want you to ask questions about health, I'm not a health expert, but I am someone who's transformed my health. So I'm gonna give it to you from a woman's perspective who just needed to be her own rescue, right? Health around spirituality. And in none of these areas am I saying I am the expert. I really don't use that word a lot. And I don't use it ever in reference to me. But I will say that I've studied a lot. I've learned a lot. I've lived long enough, as my grandmother says, and I've been a dutiful student. And in some people's eyes, I've been a pretty decent teacher as well. So you pose the question, we're gonna gather them all up, and over the next several episodes, we're gonna answer your questions. I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility, and I love that I get to say every time we come together that I believe in you and that I love you, because I do.